race fans, welcome to the All-American ARCA series here at Las Vegas for the Las Vegas 200. 134 laps, 200 miles. These competitors have to make their way around the tri-oval here today. These guys have 85% fuel alignment, 3 additional sets of tires, and 1 green-white checker attempt. As always, I'm James East, bringing it to you live in 1080p, 60 frames a second on behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's round 4 tonight. Guaranteed to be a good one. I'm excited. I know the people are at home excited, and most importantly, the racers are excited as we get ready for single car qualifying to kick off here at the Las Vegas Super Speedway. I guess just a regular speedway. So a few notes from last week. One driver has been removed from the series for intentional wrecking. The admins here are cracking down on poor driving to reduce the amount of cautions. There was a little bit of rule clarifications for the drivers as well. So leader gets lane choice on restarts. 3 cautions in a row results in a single file restart for the field. And there will be a bonus points delivered for finishing the race and for finishing to 0x. So admins here doing their best to encourage good, clean driving and good racing across the board. So you love to see it. Another one thing to note, Christopher Heller, he's moved from the number 18 machine to the number 11 machine, still teammates with Barkuski. So a little bit of things happening during the silly season or the off time, but not a whole lot getting shaken up here at the All-American ARCA Series. Right now, single qualifying is underway. Mathis puts down a 30.95 to put him on top of provisional pole. But the man to watch right now has been Vandermeed in practice. Vandermeed hasn't gone out yet. I think he might be going out now. There he is. Vandermeed, he was the fastest car in qualifying. He's currently second place in points for the championship. Right now, Vandermeed finds himself about 56 points down from current championship leader, Mr. Eckert. Eckert's had a very, very good run. He's had 3 starts, 2 wins, and is always in the top 5 so far here at the All-American Series. So getting about halfway into the season, excuse me, not even halfway, about a quarter of the way into the season for round 4. We will be off next week for the off-week Independence Day break. So everybody, racers, broadcasters, crew chiefs, spotters, everybody kind of gets to enjoy the week and the celebrations. But Las Vegas is going to be a spicy one here tonight. Drivers are saying the track feels very, very slick. They're having a little bit of a hard time getting around the racetrack. So going to see how things shake up tonight and see if we can get some green flag runs. I believe it's about 32 drivers have made their way onto the racetrack tonight that will be racing today. We talked to some drivers who said, hey, I'm going to qualify in the back or not qualify, and then just kind of plan to keep my nose clean for all 134 laps here around Las Vegas. So a couple different strategies coming into play. We've seen a lot of cautions so far in the series as drivers get used to each other is probably the best way to put it. It's a relatively newer series, quickly grew into being the premier ARCA series here on the iRacing Network. Let's see what Vandermeed does once he crosses the line here. Vandermeed puts himself up into second for a provisional pole. Right now, Chris Heller, we mentioned him earlier, switching numbers. He's on top of provisional pole with a 30.4. Let's see who else goes out here. See Mark Proctor in the 36 machine, sponsored by Tinder. He's going for all the right swipes and the super likes. It looks to be like he may be one of the drivers that is putting down a low qualifying time tonight. Now, when these fields do have more than 40, I believe it's 43 drivers, only the top 43 make it to the main event from qualifying. So it looks to me like there's only 34 entries tonight. So you can see a few of the guys going out there putting down purposely slow times and then just trying to stay at the back and keep their nose clean. Now it looks like what Mark Proctor and that Tenderback Chevrolet is doing. Andrew Neri, he's also out there in the 654 machine, the Team Goon Squad sponsored ARCA car. He is going for the slowest lap time record, as you see Proctor put down a 32.27. We'll see what Neri does. I think he stood on the brakes right there going across start-finish line. Yeah, Neri's doing the same plan. He's got a 35.27. So a little bit different strategies already developing tonight. You see some guys hanging out in the line and Some guys not quite want to do that. James Silver's number 17 Chevrolet. He's got a little bit of connection issues. Hope we can get that cleared up as the night progresses. As qualifying is finished, let's take it to the grid and see what we got for you tonight. Starting up on pole, Christopher Heller. Michael Vandermeer starting second. Brandon Barkuski third. James Silvers fourth. Zach Rogers in fifth. Josh Mayhew sixth. Andrew McGronigal in seventh. Johnny Eckert, current points leader. He's starting in eighth tonight, not where he wants to be. Let's see, Spencer Dewsbury ninth. Kyle Hall, series admin in 10th. Dylan Smock in 11th. Tristan Vargotsky, in 12th place starting tonight. You've got Gus Moody in 13th. David Westergreen, professional broadcaster as well. He's in 14th. Justin Ray 15th. Casey Carrington, league owner 16th. Alex Penn starting in 17th. Patrick Hernandez 18th. Craig Martin 19th. You've got Devin Scroggin starting 20th. John Simpson Jr. 21st. Curtis Martin 22nd. Tyler Evans starting 23. Dennis Weeks Jr. 24th. Alec Burton starting 25th, Robert Mathis Jr. 26th, Chris Culpepper 27th, Shane Gentry 28th, Ryan Perkins starting 29th, Zachary Nernberger 30th, Nick Terrell 31st, Mark Proctor 32nd, Andrew Neri starting 33rd, and then Bruce Pearson's going to round out our field of 34 drivers tonight. 34 drivers, 134 laps, 34 will enter, and not that many will leave. So we're going to get ready to form up the grid here, get this party started. Christopher Helder's going to be out front. He's on the inside in that number 11 machine. Michael Vandermeer on the outside in the number 7. If you're watching along at home, let us know who you're cheering for. Without you guys giving likes and follows to the channel, we couldn't do it without you. It supports your favorite racer, it supports your favorite ARCA series, and it supports the channel immensely. So thank you so much to everybody that tunes in every week. Couldn't do it without you guys. We see your shout outs, the drivers appreciate it, I appreciate it. And most importantly, we're going to have a whole lot of fun tonight. So 34 drivers, 134 laps, a very slippery racetrack. As we see Michael Vandermeer starting second, he's got major internet problems already. If he can't get that dialed in, he is going to get a black flag from the race officials. I think that's Vandermeer and James Silvers, I think, is having problems. So Vandermeer in the 7, James Silvers in the 17th. Not sure what's going to happen here with that bad internet connection. So we're just going to wait for the pace car to come in. They may have extended the start here due to the internet problems at the front of the field. Not quite sure what that is. We're going to see James Silvers and Vandermeer still having very big problems. We already see people cheering on the 77. That's Spencer Dewsbury. Our highest qualifying Canadian's getting some love from the internet. So watch Dewsbury tonight. He's the number 77 on the left side of your screen. So Dewsbury, a very, very fast guy, just not having the qualifying that he hoped for. Dewsbury's racing for Team Eclipse Racing tonight. He's going to be starting 9th in that 77 machine, but we're going to take the camera back up front. We're going to focus on Brandon Barkuski. He's probably got the best internet that we can get a focus on here. Get a little bit of love for Dylan Smock, the number 60 machine. Getting some love. Smock qualified 11th tonight, the number 60 machine, so hopefully he can get a good run here. Pace car is in. Keep an eye on Christopher Heller on the bottom left of your screen. He's going to control the start here. Stacks the field up, and away we go. The excitement, though, I think, is going to be that outside line. 7 of Vandermeer and James Silvers. Just very dismal internet this early on in the race is not a good sign. We're going to take it down into turn 1, see how clean they can keep it. We're going to back that camera angle out just a little bit, let you show how big that field really is here at Las Vegas. 34 drivers. That is about 8 or 9 short of a very full field. So good to see so many racers coming out, signing up, seeing what they've got against some of the best ARCA racers in the business. A great battle for the front. Brandon Barkuski, Christopher Heller, duking and sliding. Zach Rogers, he's in the mix trying to figure something out. And, man, that field behind them is just a swarm. Nobody's really falling in single file. Everybody's doing their best to hold on as much as they can. Very, very tough to make your way up when the field is this just hectic is, I guess, the best way to describe it. Brandon Barkuski in the number 25 machine. He's trying to get a run on Christopher Heller. Heller just put down the best lap of the race so far at 30.82. These guys should be able to go about the halfway mark or maybe a little bit less for fuel. But I think around the lap 40 or 50 mark, you see guys starting to talk about coming in for tires, put some freshies on there, and get back out. I think the tires are going to very rapidly degrade around this hot racetrack. It is getting cooler as the sun is going down here in Las Vegas. But with how hard these guys are pushing early on, it's going to be an interesting night. Take it back right now to 7th place. That's Spencer Dewsbury trying to get a run on Michael Vandermeed. Dewsbury running the inside line, trying to see if he can make it stick. All of these guys holding on to the best they can. We've got people seeing if Andrew Nary, the 654, if he can hold on to it tonight. He's had a season plagued with the misfortune. Most crashes he involved with, kind of a rough spot to be in. Really couldn't get his way through them clean. And we also see the number 60 machine get a little bit of love from Y Racing Company, sponsoring the number 60, piloted by Mr. Smock. So a lot of good support from all the sponsors and fans tonight. Everybody's here to see some good, clean racing. And as we made it to lap 6, that's fairly good for this competitive field. Take it back in the field a little bit more. We're going to look at Alex Penn, the number 30 machine. He's going 3 wide into the thick of it up back here. A lot of folks going on. Penn's trying to chase down Justin Ray in the number 38 machine. Alex Penn, one of the brothers to race control, so that's a dead given. If you do something silly in your brother's race control, he's 100% going to call you on it. So Penn doing a great job. He's up for 4 spots right now. And ahead of him, a massive battle for 9th place. That's Gus Moody in the number 84 machine. In front of him, you've got Kyle Hall. You've got Dylan Smock, Spencer Dewsbury. Just a bunch of fast drivers trying to get up there and make it happen. As we're seeing some fantastic racing going on here tonight. Oh! Yellow flag is out. Vandermeed's got terrible. Oh, they're crashing behind him. Vandermeed blinked, and Shane Gentry, Dylan Smock, Alec Burton, Tristan Varkovsky all involved. Oh, no. See if we can get you a replay of that one, ladies and gentlemen. So right now you're watching Shane Gentry in the number 26. We're going to tighten up that camera angle a little bit. Gentry's on the high line right there. He's got the number 97 to his inside. Gets a little bit loose, and around he goes. Now look though. I think there's another crash that's going to develop. That's going to be further up in the field, I think. So we're going to look at Dylan Smock. He gets involved. No, it's a different crash up front. Smock, the number 16 machine, gets into the wall all by his lonesome. Absolutely clears out Alex Penn in the 30. Penn had nothing he could do there. And then Tristan Varkovsky, he's swerving around trying to survive here. Not sure what happened to Varkovsky. He got into one of the previous wrecks, I think. And just like that, a lot of drivers having a rough night early on. So it looks like in the pits we got Josh Mayhew, Casey Carrington, Robert Mathis Jr., Nick Terrell, Tristan Barkowski, Alex Penn, Alec Burton, all not having the night they wanted tonight. Driver to look out for. Look at number 22, Bruce Pearson. He is up 12 spots so far tonight. So Bruce Pearson, in the spirit of Daytona racing, a very smart racer, he's able to get up a series of positions here, keeps that car clean, and just like that, he's in the mix of it. Qualified 30th tonight. Now he's rolling in 20th. You see Ryan Perkins on the left side. Perkins, he's up 8 positions as well. So these competitors keeping their machines clear and able to get through this relatively well so far early on in the night as we bring out our first caution. So we made it about 10 laps. We've got a long way to go. But overall, the racing up front has been clean. We see drivers getting a little bit frustrated later on. I think race control, Joseph Penn, he's going to have a busy night ahead of him going through these replays, seeing what's going on. Really do hate to see so many good drivers taken out early on. And as always, I'd like to thank the viewers. Every time we have a slow motion replay involving a crash, the viewership spikes up here on the Team Goon Squad Broadcasting Network. So thank you guys for enjoying the shenanigans as well. We're going to re-rack them 2 wide as far back as the eye can see here. It's going to be about 30 drivers still on the lead lap, 3 drivers still in the pits. Christopher Heller is going to be out front, Brandon Barkowski second, Zach Rogers third, Johnny Eckert fourth. But here we go. Diving into turn 1, that's Christopher Heller out front. Brandon Barkowski's right in tow on the inside line. Zach Rogers to his right. Johnny Eckert. Johnny Eckert has been one of the dominant cars out here this season. Our current points leader knows what it takes to get up there and run with the big dogs, and most importantly, survive an entire race. 200 miles is a long, long time when you're pushing this hard as they go 2 by 2 for the top 4. Christopher Heller's running the low line, using every ounce of apron he can. Christopher Heller's on the high line. Behind Heller, you've got Johnny Eckert on the inside. Zach Rogers in that second row. They're going to go 2 wide once more, turns 1 and 2. And our race leaders, Barkowski and Heller, just can't get away from each other. They are glued to each other's side. It looks like Barkowski has a little bit of an advantage running that inside line. Not sure if he's going to burn up more tires there, as he's going to get clear of Christopher Heller going down the start-finish tri-oval. Barkowski running that very, very low line, trying to make that racetrack as small as he possibly can. Still neck and neck for the lead here at Las Vegas. This is only lap 14, ladies and gentlemen. These guys are pushing like it's the final 10. They are absolutely hanging it out right now. Barkowski in the 25 doing a good job trying to get his way around Christopher Heller, trying to make that low line work. Christopher Heller in the butt kicker sponsored machine doing his best, run that mid to high line. So not quite sure what the answer is here, but oh, look at Johnny Eckert with a big, big run. Eckert with Outlaw Racing has been, again, the dominant car here. Is, oh, you see how far he steps out that number 90 machine. So these guys are absolutely hanging it out tonight. your battle for second place right now. Christopher Heller's gotten a little bit of room to breathe here. Barkuski's still running that low line while we see Johnny Eckert running a little bit more momentum around the high line. Eckert's trying to use that draft of first place Christopher Heller to his advantage. Try and get away from Barkuski just a little bit. But Barkuski's been a very, very fast machine out here. As it looks like Eckert is going to take over that second place mark. A lot of good racing here going on around Las Vegas. A swarm of cars absolutely everywhere. We're watching your battle for sixth place right now. Spencer Dewsbury chasing down Andrew McGronigal. Behind Dewsbury, you got Michael Vandermeet, James Silvers, Gus Moody. So all of these guys trying to get a piece of the action early on. We've got to make it a lap 20 to pass our last green flag run. So we're trying to get more than 10 laps at a time here. So let's see what these drivers can do. Spencer Dewsbury trying to catch up to Andrew, the number 16 machine in front of him. We'll take you on board for a lap unless you listen to these race cars. That was a lap on board with Dewsbury. You can hear that rear tire really squirming around out there at Las Vegas. Right now you're watching the battle for 17th. So Devin Scroggins in the bright yellow, I believe that's a Yoo-Hoo paint scheme, it is. And the number 66 machine. Behind him, he's got Tyler Evans, the number 15. In front of him, he's got John Simpson Jr. in the 65 machine. So, again, from 1st to 30th, a lot of good racing going out here. No matter where you're at, you're going to be battling for position and driving around with some very talented drivers. Behind this battle, you've got Robert Mathis Jr. He's being chased down by Zachary Nurnberger and Andrew Neri. So, Nurnberger in the 32, Neri in the 654. All these guys up a whole lot of positions early on into the race. Oh, look at Zach. He's given Robert Mathis Jr. a little bit of a push going into turn 3, coming out of 4. Not sure if he's going to have the drive here or not. Let's see what he does going into turn 1 here at Las Vegas. A lot of different lines being ran. Some guys run as low as they possibly can. Some guys run that mid to high line. Hold on to it, boys. They go 2 wide, going into 3. Andrew Neri, he's looking at the 654 machine. He's on the top of your screen right now going, I wonder if we should make this 3 wide right now. Usually the answer is no, but sometimes you've just got to send it, as Robert Mathis Jr. is going to get shuffled back just a little bit, and Andrew Neri is going to take over the spot. Back up front, still a very tight race for the lead. Christopher Heller's out front. He's putting down 31.8. Johnny Eckert did a 31.72 his last time by. We'll see how it shows once they cross timing and scoring right about now. So Heller did a 31.72. Eckert did a 31.76. Brandon Barkuski, though, he did a 31.62, so about a tenth faster than the 2 cars in front of him. Barkuski, he's been looking at Heller and Eckert all season long going, I think I've got the pace to run up here consistently. So Barkuski doing what he can to get up there and hammer down. We see Grace Neri. She's giving number 654 Andrew Neri a big shout out. She's coming from Canada with the action. So always good seeing folks from across the world tuning in, supporting our favorite drivers. We couldn't do it without you guys. It definitely wouldn't be nearly as fun. So Barkuski in the championship run, he's up 12 positions. after last week. He finds himself about 62 points behind the leader, but the thing here is it's still very early on in the season. It's anybody's guess what can happen. Barkowski did finish first last week at Auto Club. He had a 7th place finish at Phoenix and unfortunately had a 29th at Daytona. So that one bad race really set him back out in the points chase. But if he can stay where he's at and keep running that top 3, keep kind of nabbing away at podiums or even top 5, he can whittle away at that points chase unless Johnny Eckert still keeps finishing up front. See. Look at Kyle Hall. Kyle Hall in the number 87 machine, one of the league admins. He's up 6 positions so far tonight, and he's trying to get a draft from Barkowski and see if he can get himself in the battle for the top 3 now. We're going to pull up the live timing and scoring tower on the left side of your screen, let you know just how much these guys are going back and forth, back and forth. It makes you appreciate the good old days when Race Control was doing this with pen and paper, trying to make something happen, keeping notes all the way around. Is that Barkowski? He's giving a little bit of a shove to Johnny Eckert, trying to regain that 2nd place. He knows he has to consistently finish in front of Eckert, at least for a while, to whittle away at that points chase. If Eckert can stay in front of Barkowski, it's not going to allow him to reel in that many points, as he might go to the inside here. Eckert might throw a block. Let's see what happens going into turn 1 at Las Vegas. I don't think Barkowski's going to have the drive right here, but don't tell him that. He's diving down the inside line using all of the apron, all over the white line, gets a little bit loose back and steps out. Has a great drive out of the corner, just doesn't quite have the drive that Eckert's having out of that one right now. Look at that high line Eckert's running. Maybe he's trying to save a little bit of tires here, or more importantly, he might be trying to get a better drive going down the back straight. Oh no, Eckert gets in the wall just a little bit. That's going to allow Barkowski to take the position. Barkowski moves up to 2nd. So the top 3 all doing almost identical lap times around Las Vegas right now, within 300ths of each other as far as lap times go. Not sure if Barkowski's going to have the pace, or if he's going to try and just settle down here and maybe stay out as long as he can for this. We won't call it a stage. There's no stages here at All-American, but they will be breaking it up into fuel stops. So he might try and cruise around as long as he can and just save some tires and see what he can do as the night develops. Here's Zach Rogers currently running 5th. He's trying to chase down Kyle Hall in front of him. Behind Zach Rogers, he's got Andrew McGronigle in the number 16 machine. So this is your battle for 4th right now, as Zach Rogers trying to reel in Kyle Hall. Rogers started in 5th place, currently in 5th place. He hasn't really gained or lost anything. I don't want to jinx it, but I am glad to see a little bit of a green flag run here developing. I say it every week, but as a broadcaster and a fellow iRacer, we love seeing green flag runs. Lets everybody work on tire strategy and different pit stop strategy, and allows these guys to show what they have off the track as far as their racecraft. So when you get that opportunity where everybody can go green and try and figure out their strategy, it allows some very different racing. You'll see some guys coming in early, going for an undercut. You'll see some guys running it all the way out until that tank is empty and trying to gain some just track position and space on the guys behind them. Here's Curtis Martin in the 04 machine. Curtis, currently our fastest Canadian, excuse me, the second fastest Canadian, sorry Curtis, is up 12 positions from where he started in the 04 machine. Behind Curtis Martin, you've got Dennis Weeks Jr., David Westergreen, Craig Martin, all running a pack right now. What you may see if this green flag run keeps going on, you'll see a few cars start working single file and try and push their way up to the front. But man, look in front of Curtis Martin. You see cars just disappearing. That's Michael Vandermeet, James Silvers having still those problems. Vandermeet started at the very front. He's down, or started second tonight. He's in 10th place. Alex Penn, he's coming out of pit lane after a 15-minute and 30-second pit stop. Penn was involved in one of those earlier incidents tonight, so he had to come in and get some repairs. He's going back out like a true professional, trying to gain some points and get some a few positions for his team, if nothing else. We're going to pull up the team points chase for you as well, give you an update on that. So as of June 18th, Outlaw Racing was out front with the points championship. They've got about a 60-point gap over Cornerstone Motorsports in second. And then 2511 Racing has moved up 3 spots from last week. They find themselves about 71 points behind current team leader Outlaw Racing. Other notes of interest, you've got Spirit of Daytona Racing. They're tied for third. PA Posse's in fifth for the points chase. Team Dodge CHT is in 6th. The Alpha Ravioli Yoo-Hoo Racing team's in 7th. Team Goon Squad is in 8th. Old Geezer Motorsports is in 9th. And Team Eclipse Racing is in 10th. So these drivers are battling for their own individual championship, but there's also a team championship on the line as well. From my understanding, it's the 2 top drivers of your teams. Their points combined for the night will allow you to get your points. And everybody's out here trying to make something happen. A lot of good racing going on right now. The battle for 11th is really shaking up. Curtis Martin, he has, I believe that, yeah, that's going to be David Westergreen on the inside, the number 93 machine. Westergreen's trying to move up some spots. He is up to 12th, up 2 spots tonight, so not having the best of night, but slowly making some progress, and that's what's important in these very long runs. Just chipping away at your competition, trying to make something happen. We're going to take it back out front. Still a very heated battle for first place. Christopher Heller in the number 11 machine. He's out front. Behind him, Brandon Barkuski in the number 25. Both of these guys really, really battling hard, trying to get a little bit of time over the competition behind them. These guys know, hey, the longer we can kind of stay single file, stay out front, it's going to help keep our race cars clean. But man, great racing. Both of these guys trying to make something happen. Barkuski might have a run here going into 1. He's going to dive down low. Christopher Heller's got about a car length running the outside line. I think Heller's just able to carry a little bit more speed on that mid to high line, but look at this. Lap traffic is going to come into play here as these leaders go around turns 3 and 4 at Las Vegas. They may catch lap traffic going into 1. That's not going to allow Barkuski to make the drive and pass that he wanted. Zachary Nurnberger, he's coming out of the pits. He's grabbed 4 fresh Goodyears and a tank of gas. Man, look at how much slip angle these competitors are. Christopher Heller, Brandon Barkuski, both hanging it out, coming out of turn 2, putting the gas down as loud as they can, trying to make those rear tires scream and carry a little bit more speed. You got to be thinking, what's their biggest concern right now? Is it tire wear or is it fuel and just track position? It looks to me like they're going to drive as hard as they can, as long as they can, and not worry about any tire saving right now, as they're both putting down lap times that are almost 2 seconds slower than their best of the session. So you can tell those tires really getting heated up, starting to wear off. Oh, here comes lap traffic though. Both these competitors going fast around out of turn 4, dropping all the way down to the tri-oval, trying to make that racetrack a little bit smaller, put down a little bit better lap time if they can help it. But Barkowski right now, he's going to play follow the leader. Just keep using that draft of Christopher Heller, and he should be able to save a little bit more fuel doing that as well. If you can stay into the draft of the guy leading the race, it's going to force him to burn a little bit more fuel compared to you, and then allow you to save a little bit. It also gives you the opportunity to watch and go, all right, this is what he's doing. This is the line he's taking. So as your run develops and the race gets a little bit tighter towards the end, you can kind of plan your strategy a little bit later. So all these guys taking as much data as they can and figuring things out as they make their way around. I believe that was the number 90 machine we just saw. There must be a different number 90. So we've got Johnny Eckert in his number 90 machine. You see him right there. Not sure what happened. No, look, there's Johnny Eckert in third. And then there's another number 90. Is that Alex Penn, maybe? That is Alex Penn also running. Oh, no, that's the 30. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. So that's Alex Penn getting lapped again. He's many laps down. Alex Penn is on lap 20 while the racers are on lap 45. So about 25 laps down for Penn after being involved in an early incident, but doing the professional thing, giving the current race leaders the preferred line and just allowing them to go by and keep his nose clean. Patrick Hernandez, he's going to bring him down pit lane in the number 19. Going to call it there and say, hey, let's get some tires and get back out there, a little bit faster car. Looks like our race leaders, though, no real intent to slow down any. They're going to stay out there until those fuel tanks are at the very edge of empty. Try and get a little bit of space on the field. Now, where it gets very exciting is when you see guys coming in and out on different sets of tires. You'll have some guys that are able to run mid to high 30s. And you've got current guys that are running 32s, 33s is what we're seeing a lot of in the lap time by. A couple 34s in the mix. So some guys are going to be at very, very different speeds here as everybody starts doing their pit cycles, starting on lap about 45s when we started to see them come in. So that's where it gets really, really exciting, especially if we get a yellow that restacks the field and everybody's on different sets of tires. It can quickly lead to tragedy on the racetrack. But right now, our race leader, Brandon Barkowski's clicking him off. He's happy to be out front. He's up 2 spots from where he started tonight. And he's got about a 0.42 second gap over second place Christopher Heller. If Barkowski can pull off a win here tonight, it would be huge for him in his points chase. Right now, though, he is going to come in. Look at that, Christopher Heller. He's going to come in. Johnny Eckert's going to stay out, I believe. He's going to get scored for leading that lap, number 90 machine. We've got Ryan Perkins. He's coming to pit lane. Andrew Neri just went out. Chris Culpepper coming in. Proctor in and out. Johnson Bazoons here. Seeing most of the field here starting to hit their pit cycles on the lap 49 mark. Johnny Eckert, a very smart racer. He's a very good strategist. He works with great crew chiefs, great spotters. So he's going to come in this time by as well. He's able to eke out a little bit more gas than the competitors. And this is going to really shake the field up here tonight. Dennis Weeks coming in. David Westergreen coming in. And now Craig Martin, the 00. He's going to lead a lap for the Team Canada 00 machine. Craig Martin representing the PA posse, trying to get some team points out here. But he's about to have a fleet of drivers coming around on new tires. Oh, look at that field behind him. So this should be your next race leader. It's going to be Nick Terrell in the number 81. Terrell has pitted on lap 9, so he should be able to stay out a little bit further. You see smoke in front of him, or guys are trying to lock it up, get into pit lane. Terrell with Team Dodge CHT. He's passing lap traffic. I believe that's going to be Ryan Perkins, the number 8 machine. So Nick Terrell's going to lead a lap in the Dorito-sponsored number 81. So Terrell, even though he is out, he's on about 40 lap older tires than most of the field right now. You see Ryan Perkins, he's got fresh tires in the number 8. He's going to try and get his lap back. This is what you're talking about. You've got guys on very, very different sets of tires here. Nick Terrell's going to have to watch that as well. If he runs that high line trying to get a pit lane as people are making his way around him, it can get very, very exciting very, very quickly, and things can get tragic quickly. Robert Mathis Jr., the number 92, he also came in on lap 9. He's currently in second place in the number 92 machine. So these guys, even though they are out front, they're putting down fairly respectable lap times. Nick Terrell did a 32.72. Robert Mathis Jr. did a 33.3. They're on a very, very old set of tires. Behind Robert Mathis Jr., you got Brandon Barkuski. He did a 30.75 his last time by. Now, granted, Robert Mathis Jr. does have about a 15, 16-second gap on third place, but at this current rate, about 3 seconds a lap. You're going to see Barkuski, Johnny Eckert, Christopher Heller really catching up quickly here. There's Christopher Heller, the number 11. In front of him, he's got Brandon Barkuski. Behind him, he's got Johnny Eckert. 3 very, very fast drivers trying to make their way back up front, all pitted on lap 49 or 50. Nick Terrell, current race leader, he's going to... looked like he was going to come in, but he did not. Oh, look at the traffic in front of Terrell, though. That's a lot of cars getting their laps back, trying to stay on the lead lap. Terrell, though, he's saying, you know what? I'm out front. Let's lead some laps. Get a little bit of TV time for that Doritos sponsor number 81 machine and see what it's like with a little bit of clean air. I will say that Doritos backed car does look very, very good tonight. Glad to see him keeping it clean. And very glad to see such a long green flag run here at the All-American ARCA Series. These drivers have really developed in this series as things progressed. Everybody's been getting the bugs worked out. They know who they can ride close with, who they can push, and then they also know, hey, we should give that guy a little bit of space. We're seeing another shout-out for Andrew Neri from Miss Gladys. Gladys, we appreciate you tuning on your favorite rider. Neri's in the 654 machine. Neri, he's up 16 spots from where he started. Qualified about 33rd. He's made his way up to 17th. He said to us before the broadcast the race tonight, he goes, I'm going to go out and I'm going to put down a purposely terrible qualifying time, and then I'm going to try and keep my car clean. So Neri's had a bit of a rough luck this season. Andrew Neri, he's currently 19th in points. His season best finish was an 11th so far at Phoenix. And at Daytona, he started 4th, finished 26th. At Phoenix, he started 19th, got 11th. And last week at Auto Club, he started 24th and 27th. So Neri's kind of found himself involved with a few incidents that were sometimes not his fault, and some of those situations you just can't get away from. But doing a good job keeping it clean and keeping it a little bit better night so far for the number 654 machine. There's Brandon Barkuski in the number 25. He's chasing down current race leader Nick Terrell in the 81 machine. Terrell, his last pit stop was on lap 9, so he's on 40 lap older tires in the field right now. So Barkuski, he did a 30.9 his last lap. Nick Terrell with a 32.68. So Terrell's gonna be losing a little about over 2.5 seconds per lap. He does have a 10-second advantage in the next 4 or 5 laps. If he does not pit, you'll see Brandon Barkuski making pretty quick work of him at the current rate Barkuski's carrying. Christopher Heller, he's also running 3rd place. He's following Barkuski. Again, same set of tires, same tire strategy. So these guys are clicking them off, making their way back through traffic and getting themselves back up towards the front. But great racing overall from our competitors. I mean, the fact that we were able to do a green flag stop here at the All-American ARCA Series is fantastic and really shows you the development of these drivers. We're looking for a number on live timing here, trying to find it. Nick Terrell, he's going to come in. He's going to pit. Number 77, Spencer Dewsbury, is getting some love, saying he's got some reason to win tonight, so he's going to hang it out, try and make something happen. As Brandon Barkuski takes over the race lead, he's got Christopher Heller behind him, Johnny Eckert, three very, very fast guys. But right now, Barkuski, he's got about a second gap over second place Christopher Heller. He's got lap traffic in front of him. That's Mark Proctor, excuse me, and the number 36 sponsored Tender Machine. Proctor is already a lap down right now, about to go another one, I believe. But Proctor not quite having the night he wanted tonight, but still doing a good job, keeping it clean, staying out there. As we're going to watch Brandon Barkuski try and make his way around lap traffic here. Has to be very, very careful on how he's going to do it. A lot of great racing. I can't say enough. I'm very impressed with the caliber of racecraft we're seeing here. Take a look at Christopher Heller and the number 11 machine. Heller's been doing a great job. He's down one spot. He qualified on pole, but still in a good position to get back up there and stay up there for the front. We're about 3 laps to go until we reach our halfway mark. But all these drivers doing a fantastic job as more and more lap traffic is coming into play. Guys coming out with fresh tires. Some of the guys coming out with the overcut. Oh, I see a car in the wall up there. That looked like the number 15 machine, Tyler Evans. That was. Evans gets into the wall all on his lonesome. We stay green, though, and Evans is going to go a lap down here. So a lot of these drivers, as they finish out their pit windows, are going to want to stay green at this point. They want to try and get some track positions. We've got a few guys that are laps down. They're going to be hoping for lucky dogs, but if we can keep this rate up, it's looking good, better and better for a green flag run. Brandon Barkuski, though, he's got to see Christopher Heller in his rearview mirror. Heller put down a 31.94 last lap. Barkuski at 31.92, so both these competitors running almost identical lap times. Don't forget about Johnny Eckert, the number 90 machine points leader. He's about 2.6 seconds back, but he was also 0.4 faster that last lap. So Eckert, he's got to be thinking about tire savings at this point. We'll expect to see these guys cycle in one more time for fuel and tires. So they pitted on lap 49, or about 45 to 50 is where we saw most drivers starting to make their pit window. So might see that happen again around the lap 80, we'll call it lap 90 to 100 is probably the latest you'll see. It also depends. I mean, there could be a yellow that can really shake things up very, very quickly. Christopher Heller starting to eke away at that gap. It's down to a 0.2 second gap as they drive it into turn one. Barkuski's doing a great job holding his own line, just clicking off laps. Still a lot of racing to go. We just passed the halfway mark. We see David Westergreen. He's having some internet problems. Patrick Hernandez is surrounded by people with internet problems. So Hernandez is the number 19 machine. In front of him, he's got Vandermeer and Silvers. Behind him, he's got David Westergreen. This is your battle you're watching right now for 9th. So Patrick Hernandez is in your just right at the top 10, trying to get a little bit more speed here. Not sure if he's going to clear Westergreen. No, that's actually a lap car, excuse me. That's the number 60 of Dylan Smock. Smock involved in one of those earlier incidents, not having the night that he was expecting. Another battle going on for 14th. That's John Simpsons Jr. in the number 65 machine. Behind him, he's got a lap down. Ryan Perkins, the number 8. And then Justin Ray is behind Perkins. So Ray is the one trying to reel down John Simpson right now. Trying to get some spot. But We still have 26 drivers on the lead lap. So a pretty respectful night for a lot of guys getting it worked out. Kyle Hall, he's chasing down Zach Rogers. Hall, the number 87 machine, he's up 3 spots from where he started. Currently in 7th place, trying to catch up to 6th place. Zach Rogers, the number 5. And behind him, he's got lap traffic. That's Robert Mathis Jr., the number 92 machine. He's coming out with relatively fresh tires. Mathis Jr. pitted on lap 48 compared to Kyle Hall's lap 47. So not quite sure how 92 found himself in this position, but he's trying to eke his way back up to the front and try and get some laps back. As these professionals go too wide down the start-finish line straight into turn 1. Keeping it pretty good all the way around here tonight. McGronigle, a newcomer to the series, the number 16 backed machine. Kind of a dark horse in the number 16. He has no... Well, actually, let me take that back. I might have missed something. Hold one. No! You heard the noise. That means McGronigle has not raced so far in the All-American ARCA series. He's doing a great job. He's up to 4th, which makes it an easy career best so far. So good to see a newcomer coming out here racing clean, doing a fantastic job so far. To show up to such a stacked field of drivers and keep it clean is very, very impressive. Again, this is one of the biggest ARCA series you can find out there right now, fielding at least 35 drivers every week. It is an honor to be out front, run a top 5, and keep a clean car. The more runs these drivers are getting, the better and better the racing has been. But McGronigle, he does have Dennis Weeks Jr. behind him in the 97. Dennis Weeks Jr., he's up 19 spots from where he started tonight. So starting about 24th, he's rolling in 5th right now, clicking off some very, very good lap times. As the field's broken down into single file just a little bit more. And things may have calmed down at the All-American ARCA Series just a little bit here. John Simpson Jr., he's got a fleet of cars behind him. He's leading Justin Ray, Josh Mayu, all making their way around. Josh Mayu trying to make a pass on Justin Ray. Justin Ray's on the high side in that white and black number 38 machine. Mayu in the 02. The all black with white numbers. Mayu's going to run that inside line. He's going to edge out Justin Ray right there. Mayu's still down 9 spots from where he started, but doing a good job. We got a car in the wall. I don't believe the caution's going to come out for that one. The driver managed to keep it off the racing line and continue moving that ARCA Menards car moving in the right direction, so we will not have a caution. So we may, ladies and gentlemen, see another green flag pit cycle if the drivers can keep this up. We're about to be lap 78 as the drivers cross the line. And we're expecting the pit window to open up between lap 85 and 100 as we're going to see guys starting to come in again. I love the paint scheme on Josh Mayu's car. It says Racers Race on the side of it and the back of it. That is a pretty popular saying among racers in any discipline you can find. It means it doesn't matter what's going on. Racers are going to race. So having a bad weekend and have a rough day at work doesn't matter. Racers race. Or, hey, you didn't get the qualifying you wanted, not starting where you mattered, doesn't matter. Racers race. So good to see him doing that. And I believe that's a Looney Tunes car of John Simpson Jr. in front of him. Yes, it is. So that's a very cool paint scheme for the number 65. Great drivers, great talent, and even better paint schemes here at the All-American ARCA Series. A heck of a battle forming up right now. This is your battle for 13th. John Simpson, Josh Mayu, Justin Ray, all in the mix of it, trying to gain a little bit more spots whenever they can, and hammering down good lap times. Not much has changed up front. Brandon Barkuski still out front. He's got about a second gap over second place Christopher Heller, and about a 3-second gap over third place Johnny Eckert. So Barkuski doing a great job tonight, keeping it clean, charging hard. Looks like he's able to start getting away there. A little bit of space. Josh Mayhew's getting over John Simpson Jr., Justin Ray. All right, and a caution is out. Gus Moody went off track. Let's see if we can get a replay of that one. Moody, not quite sure what happened there. Might have got a little bit loose all by his lonesome. Gus Moody, the number 84, currently showing in 29th place. He's down about 16 spots from where he started. Not quite sure. Looks like he just kind of let that rear end snap loose. I don't believe it collected any other drivers. He goes to correct it, holds on for dear life, goes all around the racetrack. But most importantly, it looks like everybody else got through it clean, so well done for Gus Moody, standing on that brake pedal, getting himself out of harm's way. This is where things are going to get shaken up a little bit. So lap 83, a little bit earlier than a lot of these drivers planned on coming in. Brandon Barkuski, Christopher Heller, Johnny Eckert all came in, our race leaders. Oh, look at that field of drivers coming into pit lane. Let's get you a good camera angle here as you see guys heading out of pit lane. You're about to see a swarm of guys leaving. A lot of drag races down the pit lane. So Zach Rogers, he's going to get some laps led here. Zach Rogers, number 5. He started off about 5th place tonight. He's currently in 1st, but he has not pitted since lap 49. So not in a great place once this restart happens. So let's see if Zach Rogers comes down pit lane. Or if he's going to say, no, we'll be all right. So Zach Rogers is going to come into pit lane. That's probably a very, very wise choice, as he does not want to be caught at the front of a field with a bunch of drivers with fresh tires. Not sure how many wave rounds we're going to see here. Brandon Barkuski should be out front once he crosses the line. There's a fleet of drivers in front of him. I'm expecting to see some wave around, some lucky dogs going on here. So it's going to be 85 laps once they've crossed the line. You should see some of the drivers strategize here and say, hey, you know what? I think I can make it to the end on one set of tires, one tank of gas. Brandon Barkuski, he went in and out that cycle. Pretty much everybody in the top, let's see what it is here. Oh, goodness. In the top 16 all cycled through on that one. So you might see some guys willing to hang it out to the very end here. But again, I mean, that's our second caution of the night. That is fantastic so far for these drivers. Early on in the season, they had a little bit of a caution fest going on and wasn't able to hang it out like they wanted to. Didn't see the racing they wanted to, but it looks like the drivers are getting a little bit more comfortable together and developing their racecraft. So I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm a little proud to see it as a broadcaster. I get to see the fledglings spread their little baby ARCA wings and fly across Las Vegas. Most importantly, we haven't seen Andrew Neri or Ryan Perkins in the highlight reel so far, so both of those drivers stepped up their game. We've seen them do a little bit of practice. I know Mark Proctor's been out there as well, putting in the time, trying to get more familiar with these racetracks, so big thumbs up to all of our drivers really developing their racecraft, getting it figured out. And it's putting in the work that it really takes to be fast and consistent. It's very, very hard, if not impossible, unless you're a select few, to show up on race day, not put down any practice laps, and go out there and win it. But once again, the top three is Brandon Barkowski, Christopher Heller, Johnny Eckert, Dennis Weeks Jr., and Andrew McGronigle? I'm going to mess that up. Sorry, Andrew. McGronigle. There we go. Nailed it. That's our top five as we stack up this massive field of ARCA cars, 2 wide. Pace car will be in this time by. It'll be 86 laps completed once they hit that start-finish line. It looks like on that last run, Barkowski had the pace to stay out front, but can Christopher Heller answer? Barkowski's been the low line for the restart. Heller's on the high line. Don't forget Johnny Eckert, Current's point leader. He's on the low line behind Barkowski. Pace car is in. Barkowski mashes the loud pedal. We are green at Las Vegas. Barkowski with a great launch. Johnny Eckert in tow. Barkowski looks like he goes to the high line for a moment. Maybe to give that draft away for a second so Eckert can't charge as hard as he wants. But here comes Eckert down the low line. It's going to be a heck of a battle for first here. Barkowski still out front. Johnny Eckert in second. Christopher Heller in third. Johnny Eckert all over the rear of Brandon Barkowski in the 25 machine, but Heller, he wants a piece of it as well. These guys vying for track position, if nothing else. They want to get their preferred spot if there is another caution. Cautions do breed cautions. You got a lot of guys out there that have been used to driving on 40 or 50 lap old tires. Next thing you know, they're on tires with the sticker still on them, and the race cars are a lot looser until the heat comes in. You see Johnny Eckert kind of dips the nose in going into 2. He's going to dive it in deep into 3, trying to get the pass on current race leader Brandon Barkowski. Barkowski on the high line. Eckert goes low. He looks like he's going to get clear at the tri-oval. Oh, they go mirror to mirror here. Eckert goes all the way down. Not sure who's going to carry more speed going into turn 1. It looks like it's going to be Eckert once more. But can Barkowski maintain that momentum? Barkowski's been happy running that mid to high line all race long. Carries a little bit more speed. Next thing you know, he's right along Eckert. It's a drag race down the back straight. Eckert has about a fender on Barkowski. Dives in deep in 3. Barkowski still on the high line. Neither of these come. Oh, they touch. Eckert gets a little bit loose. Barkowski slows down as well. That's going to allow Christopher Heller get in the mix. Heller takes the second place spot. He's got a heck of a drive here. Eckert's still on that low line. Heller is trying to carry a little bit more speed. Can Heller carry speed around coming out of turn 2? Now it's a drag race between Heller and Eckert down the back straight. Eckert's been running the low line all night long. Heller able to carry just a little bit more speed. So now it's Heller and Eckert. Heller on the high side. Eckert down low. Once again, they're 2 wide. Oh, they almost touch again. Johnny Eckert drifts up the racetrack just a little bit to make Heller think, hey, I'm still here. You need to slow down a little bit. Kind of slows down your friend, ruffles some feathers just a little bit. But that's going to allow Brandon Barkowski to 25. He's gotten back up there. Carries great speed down the back stretch. Are they going to go 3 wide? They're hinting at it. Heller's got a great drive going into 3. Oh, Barkowski on the inside of Eckert. Eckert gets a little bit loose. He's going to hold off Barkowski for at least another lap. This is only lap 90. This isn't even lap 130. We've got about 40 laps to go here in Las Vegas. And these guys are driving their absolute hearts out. Heller's still doing a great job keeping it out front. Eckert, he's watching and waiting. But while these top 3 were racing between Heller, Eckert, and Barkowski, Dennis Weeks Jr., Andrew McGronigle, Michael Vandermeer, Kyle Hall, they've gotten themselves back in the mix of it. So that lead pack has slowed things down just enough for the top 10 to really catch up and bunch things up. But right now, it looks like Christopher Heller and his butt kicker sponsored number 11 machine is doing a pretty good job holding off Johnny Eckert. Eckert's about a quarter second back, but still a long way to go, especially if these guys are worried about fuel towards the end of the run. They may have been burning a little bit more than they wanted to in the early part of this. A lot of good racing. Look at Brandon Barkuski. He's holding off Dennis Weeks Jr. right now. Dennis is up 20 spots tonight. So the number 97 machine has been charging hard. Good to see somebody pushing that hard. You can tell the hard work's absolutely paid off for number 97. Dennis Weeks Jr., he's currently in 8th place in points. His career best was last week at Auto Club, where he started 10th and brought home a 4th place finish. He had equally bad luck at both Daytona and Phoenix, where he finished 14th in most races. So really good to see the number 97 machine charging up front, clipping away at some points and driving really, really hard. If he can get by Brandon Barkuski and finish 3rd or higher, that'll be a series best for him. But oh, here we go. Barkuski's really pressuring Johnny Eckert right now. Barkuski, he's about a half car back from Eckert. Eckert's running the low line now. Barkuski's running the high line. You can see Eckert purposely driving a little bit higher than he has been all race to kind of frazzle his racers around and maybe slow down their drive a little bit. Normally when these guys are all by themselves, they'll run the lowest line they possibly can through start and finish line, but you get some drivers next to you, start going, you know what, I might give you a little bit of a love tap here. Make you think about passing me this late in the race. But it looks like it did not work for Eckert. Brandon Barkuski up into 2nd still. He's got Johnny Eckert behind him. Behind Eckert, Dennis Weeks Jr. and Andrew McGonigal. So a lot of fast racers getting in the mix here. Eckert dives down low. He goes high, trying to get a run of Barkuski going into 1. But now, can Barkuski reel in Christopher Heller, current race leader? Heller's been a very, very fast car all night long. He qualified pole. He's currently up front. We know the number 11 has the speed. Does he have the race strategy to stay out front with this long green flag run we've been seeing? Again, it's got to be a personal best for the All-American Series to see guys out here running that good, that hard the entire night. Other points of interest, Andrew Neri, the 654, he's up 20 spots. Bruce Pearson, he's up 17 spots. A lot of guys able to keep their car clean, have that strategy develop for them. We said earlier in the broadcast with some of these drivers saying, you know what, I'm willing to take it easy the first fuel stop, kind of see where the cars develop, keep my race car clean, and just try and chip away at it. It definitely seems to be working, especially for the number 97, Dennis Weeks Jr. The fact that he's made up 20 positions in a race is absolutely spectacular. Oh, here's your battle for the lead. Brandon Barkuski on the low line. He's trying to edge out Christopher Heller. Heller's been carrying great momentum. Look at Barkuski, throws up the racetrack, slows down the drive of Christopher Heller just enough. So Barkuski's going to get a lap lead here as he's starting to work on traffic. That's the number 90 machine. That is, I believe that's Alex Penn. So no, the number 30 machine. We got to talk to Penn after this race. His brother's race control. We got to get those numbers more legible for the old man broadcast team with terrible eyesight. So Barkuski, Heller, Eckert all get around Alex Penn. No worries. Penn, a true professional, gives them all the race line. Doesn't want to get mixed up in any shenanigans if he can help it. But Barkuski, he's got about a quarter-second gap over 2nd place Christopher Heller right now. Johnny Eckert all over the number 11 machine, and Dennis Weeks Jr. thoroughly in the mix. Jr., though, he's got to be thinking, you know what, I'm running 4th. This will be tied for my series best. Let's just keep on toe with the fast guys up here, and it's a points championship. As much as important it is to try and win a race every now and then, being up front consistently is what's going to pay the bills for these drivers. Johnny Eckert really working on Christopher Heller right now. We're going to take you on board with Johnny Eckert. That's Dennis Weeks Jr. behind him, the number 97 machine. You can see just how low Eckert gets all the way down the race line when he's not trying to battle somebody. In front of Eckert, you've got Christopher Heller doing his best to hold off the mighty number 90. Look at the slip angle these guys are carrying. That is the ragged edge of traction. That is as far as you can hang it out before that tire breaks free and sends you into the wall here at Las Vegas. These guys have about 20 laps on these set of tires, so you can see lap time starting to fall off. They're already about a second off. But here comes the pass for 2nd. Johnny Eckert down the low line. He's going to use every ounce of apron available, but not too much. He wants to pressure Christopher Heller, kind of upset that number 11, get him off his preferred line as Eckert dives it down low. Heller, though, he's been carrying a lot of momentum, running that mid to high line. As you see, get just another bit of a gap on Johnny Eckert, so he's going to maintain his spot. Heller in second, Barkuski up front. Eckert, though, in third, doing everything he can to edge that 90 machine just a little bit forward. It's going to be 31 to go once they cross the line. Fuel saving has got to be the forefront of these competitors' mind. Going, have we pushed too much early on? But when you're in a pack this tight for the top 5, there's not a lot you can do as far as saving. You either hold down the loud pedal or you get swallowed up. As we see the top 5 tightening up even more. We've got fans. We've got Patty Heller. She's cheering on Brandon Barkuski, Christopher Heller from her seat at home. Rooting on the two boys, currently 1 and 2. She's got to be glad to see it. Can they hold off Johnny Eckert, the number 90 machine? Because Eckert, he's got the pace, but behind Eckert, Dennis Weeks Jr., Andrew McGonigal. Very, very fast cars all want a piece of that top 5 action. Oh, this is really tight racing. 30 to go. 29 once they cross the line. I don't know how things are going to finish tonight. These guys are holding it down as loud as they can. Eckert all over the back of Christopher Heller, trying to find some way around. We may see a dive here going into turn 1. He's at the bumper. He's at the corner panel. They're side by side with about 2 cars between them. Eckert running as low as he possibly can. I don't think he's going to be able to get the slide job. Heller carrying so much speed on that mid to high line. That's going to slow Eckert down just enough where Dennis Weeks Jr., he can get in the mix, but they're going side by side again as Eckert goes to the low line. Christopher Heller doesn't have the drive out of here. Now you're going to see Eckert use up a little bit more racetrack than he normally does. Now there he goes. He gets all the way down the apron once more. Can he hold off Christopher Heller, the number 11 machine? Looks like Heller's falling back just a little bit. But we know Heller can carry a little bit more speed. If Johnny Eckert can get clear on this back stretch, it's going to be in trouble. Look at Dennis Weeks Jr. He's trying to find out who he wants to give a push to here. Oh, look how much Heller is hanging it out coming out of 4. I believe Eckert is going to get clear here, but I'm not sure if he's going to throw a block. Here comes Dennis Weeks Jr. He's going to try and get the inside of Heller as well, number 11. Number 16, Andrew McGonigal, trying to figure out who he wants to give a push to. And while these guys are battling, that's going to give Brandon Barkuski a chance to keep hammering down laps, get a little bit of space on his field friend and competitors behind him. As they're once again going too wide. That's Eckert on the low line, Heller on the high line. They're too wide behind him. That's Dennis Weeks Jr., Andrew McGonigal. So they're going 2 by 2 out of 4. Eckert slides up the racetrack. He's going to throw a nasty block on Christopher Heller. Heller's going to try and drive it down low. Eckert's a smart racer. He knows, hey, this is too risky to try and block here. You can block as hard as you want in NASCAR, but if you get spun, there's not a lot you can do as far as protests go. And look at this. They've caught Brandon Barkuski just a little bit. So while going 2 to a 2 by 2, they've managed to catch up to the race leader just a little bit. Barkuski's suddenly got his hands full. He's got Eckert right behind him. Heller also behind him. Eckert and Heller going too wide, coming out of 4. Heller's going to have the low line. Eckert's going to have the high line. Barkuski's got to see the action behind him and is chuckling to himself going, man, these guys are really racing out here. Dennis Weeks Jr. playing it very safe. He's trying to get around Christopher Heller, but not willing to risk it too much. He knows if he can keep finishing these top 5, it's going to really help out his points chase. But he is on the preferred line. He's got a good drive behind him. He's got Andrew McGonigal trying to give a push and a shove as well. But just like that, Dennis Weeks Jr. goes a little bit too deep going into 3. He's going to get shuffled back. As Dennis Weeks Jr., he shows his third on that time by. Not sure if he's going to have the drive going into 1 to hold off Christopher Heller. It's going to be tight. Oh, don't touch, boys. Hold on to it. Heller almost gets in the back of Dennis Weeks Jr. Everybody holds on to it. True class and professionalism. So Dennis Weeks Jr. up into 3rd right now. One of his best runs he's had of the season. It's 25 to go. I'm not sure if these guys are going to have the fuel to make it all the way to the end. It's going to be spicy. Brandon Barkuski, though, he's holding off Johnny Eckert. Eckert, a man on a mission. He wants to keep that points lead, doing everything he can. These cars have really got to be tightening up for these competitors. They're on lap 110. They pitted about 30 laps ago. This is where we're going to see tires really falling off. They're about 1.5 seconds off their best laps of the session. So tire wear is going to rapidly start coming into play here. It'll plateau for a little bit and then drop like an absolute rock as the tires wear off. But man, the racing out of these competitors is nothing short of spectacular. Hands down the best race we've had so far on the All-American ARCA Series. These guys are doing a fantastic job putting on a good show for all their friends, family, and fans too. We've got sponsors watching. We've got people from all across the globe cheering on their favorite drivers, drivers from all across the globe. So a very cool experience you can't find anywhere else but the All-American ARCA Series. As the battle for the lead continues, Barkowski's out front. He's got about 0.15 seconds over Johnny Eckert. Johnny Eckert, not sure if fuel is going to be at all a concern for these drivers, but you've got to wonder. We're going to take you on board for one lap in the number 90 machine, and we'll be right back. We're back. This is your battle for the lead. You can hear just how much these drivers are trying to back those corner up as the tire wear really takes a toll on their machines. Johnny Eckert, number 90, still content running that low line. Brandon Barkowski in the high line. Look at Johnny Eckert. He's got a big run on the start-finish line. He makes the pass. Can he make it stick going into turn 1? So far, so good. Barkowski's been running that mid to high line, carrying a lot of speed. I don't think he's going to have the drive coming out of here to hold on to it as Eckert, your new race leader. Eckert, current points leader. He's won. He's done a fantastic job so far this season. 19 laps to go. Everybody absolutely holding it wide. Look at Dennis Weeks Jr. now. He's starting to work on Brandon Barkowski. Still anybody's guess what's going to happen here. The lap times have slowed down immensely. They're now 2 seconds off their best lap times of the race session. Tire wear is really starting to kick their ass. Man, what a great run. Johnny Eckert's still out front. Brandon Barkowski really getting worked on by Dennis Weeks Jr. here. Barkowski trying to run that low line where we've seen a lot of passes. Let's see. Dennis Weeks Jr. is going to dive it down low in the 97. Doesn't quite get to the inside of Barkowski. There he is. They're side by side. Come on the backstretch, but I think that's going to kill Dennis Weeks Jr. momentum. That's going to allow Christopher Heller back in the mix. Oh, here comes Dennis Weeks Jr. again down the inside line. Can Barkowski get clear of the number 97 and drop down low? I don't think he can. Oh, what's going to happen here? Christopher Heller, he's going to go all the way down the inside. He has a run, has to back out of it. He's going to tuck back in behind Dennis Weeks Jr. Dennis Weeks Jr., though, he's trying to get that car as low as he can. Does not want to hit his friend Barkowski, who is in the number 25 machine. Mark Proctor, I think he might have come into pit that last time by. And man, look at this. Johnny Eckert starting to check out. Over a 0.4 second gap over second place Brandon Barkowski. Dennis Weeks Jr. with the run of the night. He's up 21 spots in the third right now, and he's breathing heavy, trying to reel down 25 Brandon Barkowski. I mean, he's already in a position for his career best. His best so far was a fourth. If he can somehow manage a third or second or, I mean, even a first, that would be huge for the number 97. He's been getting good runs. Not sure if he's got anywhere to go with it, or again, if these guys are starting to think about tire wear and fuel consumption. I think you're going to see some guys starting to come in as we get 15 laps to go. I don't think all the field's going to have enough tire fuel to make it happen. I know a few drivers still in pit lane fixing repairs, trying to get them back out there. Oh, look at the battle for second. Dennis Weeks Jr., he's on the inside of Brandon Barkowski. They're side by side coming out of the corner. There's going to be a drag race down the start-finish line. Dennis Weeks Jr. is going to be in the preferred position here. He's also got the draft support of Christopher Heller and Andrew McGonigal just driving the high line. So Dennis Weeks Jr. not able to carry the speed out of turn 2 that he wants to fully get clear of Brandon Barkuski. But man, he's not making it easy for Barkuski as they go 2 by 2. This is the battle for second, third, fourth, fifth, all in the mix of it. Barkuski gets it edged out. Dennis Weeks Jr. slides up the racetrack just a little bit, drops back down low so he can have the preferred line going to turn 1 and 2. Now what you might see here is Dennis Weeks Jr. will have the preferred line, able to drift up the racetrack coming out of turn 2 and really carry some speed. Look at Christopher Heller. He's back in the mix of the number 11 machine. He says, hey, I want my podium spot back. It's going to be 12 to go at the line. Johnny Eckert with a commanding lead, about 0.75 seconds over second place Dennis Weeks Jr. But the fact that Dennis Weeks Jr. is up 22 spots is got to be the story of the race so far. He's doing a spectacular job keeping that machine clean, putting down some very respectable lap times, one of the fastest of the race so far. And he was running pretty much identical pace as Christopher Heller right behind him. Barkuski falling off a little bit, about 2/10 slower than the guys in front of him. That could very well be the battling he's having to do as well. So let's see what Johnny Eckert puts by his next time by compared to Dennis Weeks Jr. Eckert still out front, got a great run, and he knows how to drive out front consistently. So Johnny Eckert put down a 32.17 his last time by. Dennis Weeks Jr. did a 32.13. So it looks like Eckert has the pace to at least maintain, but fuel and tire wear is still coming into play. You may see Eckert backing off the loud pedal just a little bit as this run develops, keeping Dennis Weeks at a comfortable distance behind him and trying to save a little bit of tires because it's about to be a sprint race to the finish. It's going to be 10 to go once they cross the line. As these drivers doing a fantastic job tonight. Dennis Weeks, he's got about a 0.4 second gap over third place Christopher Heller, and about 0.8 of a second from fourth place Andrew McGonigal. So if Dennis Weeks Jr. can keep chugging away here, he's run the same lap times as the leader, Johnny Eckert. So he might not have the time or the laps to reel in first place, but if he can maintain where he's at, put down a career best of a second place in the biggest ARCA series you can find on iRacing right now, that would be huge. His sponsors would be ecstatic. He'd be ecstatic. His family at home would be losing their absolute mind. So well done to the number 97 machine so far for a fantastic run. It'll be 8 to go at the line. Johnny Eckert still out front doing a great job. We got a major battle for 9th place forming up as well at Spencer Dewsbury. He's got James Silvers, Kyle Hall, Josh Mayu all running very tight here. All these guys trying to get those top 10 points. They're going to help out their own chase as well as their team championship as well. So even if you're having a rough night, it is in your best interest to keep pushing as long as you can. Get out there, click off every lap for both yourself and your team, and that's what it's all about. You've seen drivers having to come in with long pit windows, fixing some much-needed damage, getting things fixed, and getting back out there. But getting back out there is the most important part of it. And that's what differentiates the men from the boys, as they say in the paddock, and who's got the right spirit of racing. Top three is getting a little bit stretched out here. Christopher Heller, he's about 1.2 seconds back from race leader Johnny Eckert, about 0.6 seconds back from Dennis Weeks Jr. Heller knows the tires are falling off pretty dramatically at this point. He's got 6 laps to go, so if he can hold on to a podium position, it's not the race win that he wanted. He qualified up front, but a top 3, honestly a top 10 in such a stacked field is extremely impressive from all the drivers. Let's find some of the other racing action going on here. Shane Gentry in the 26. He's doing a good job. It's the battle for 20th place. So Shane Gentry currently in 20th. Behind him, Tyler Evans, who's battling Nick Terrell. Evans not having the race he wanted. He's up 2 positions from where he started, but not able to break into the top 20 so far tonight. So unfortunate to see it so far, but just staying out there has got to be the most important thing. I think we see Andrew McGonigal. He's coming into the pits. So McGonigal, who was running one of our top 5 cars, has dropped down. He will not have the fuel to make it to the end with 5 laps to go. Absolute heartbreak. The question here, ladies and gentlemen, who else are we going to see that may run out of gas out front? Does Johnny Eckert have the speed? We know he has the speed. Does he have the tires and the fuel to make it to the end? 4 laps to go. Eckert making his way through lap traffic. Last thing he wants to do here is get slowed down too much from lap competitors, but these guys are all battling for position. There's not much you can do about it. That's Ryan Perkins and the pink number 8. Hold on to whatever he's got going on. And the 22 of Bruce Pearson, who's trying to avoid going a lap down. It's 3 to go. Eckert getting through traffic. Lap cars doing their best to hold the line, kind of give him the preferred line if it possible. Perkins doing the professional thing. He rides the high line, gives Eckert as much room as he can possibly afford. Almost hits the wall. Eckert gets a little bit loose, gives the wall a little bit of a love tap. A little bit of excitement. It's going to be 2 to go once he crosses the line. Dennis Weeks Jr. still over a second back. Christopher Heller trying to reel in Dennis Weeks. Here's your battle for second. Can Weeks hold on to it with 2 laps to go? Now Dennis Weeks Jr., Christopher Heller, they're going to be coming into lap traffic. Lap traffic already knows at this point, hey, the fast cars are coming by. Let's keep them in mind and keep it on that rearview mirror as Johnny Eckert has plunged through the field. He's got 1.5 second gap over Christopher Heller. It's going to be the final lap here at Las Vegas. White flag is out, ladies and gentlemen. This is your battle for second. Dennis Weeks Jr. currently running a career best. Behind him, Christopher Heller qualified on pole, but currently sitting in third. All of these guys, as much as they want to gain a little bit of points, they want to stay out there and keep those cars clean. This is going to be the final 2 corners. His third place. Christopher Heller is trying to work on Dennis Weeks Jr. I don't think he's going to have the pace. Dennis Weeks Jr. covers that low line. Can Heller get a good drive coming out of 4? Johnny Eckert, your race winner for tonight, followed by Dennis Weeks Jr., Christopher Heller bringing home in third. An absolute fantastic performance from all of our drivers tonight. Again, a career best for a lot of these guys, and a hands-down batch for the All-American ARCA Series. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. A fantastic race from all of our competitors. Well done, everyone. That was fantastic. Johnny Eckert with a well-deserved burnout here at Las Vegas. Come on, Eckert. Hit the gas. Is Eckert out of gas? Did he? Ladies and gentlemen, did Johnny Eckert, race leader, have enough gas? I think Eckert might be out of gas. Johnny Eckert. That is fantastic. Race leader Johnny Eckert has run out of gas, ladies and gentlemen. That was to the very end. He barely had enough. Well done to Eckert. Didn't have enough gas for a victory burnout. That is fantastic. All right, we're going to get... I can't believe it. That's awesome. We're going to get your unofficial results up on the board, but now let's get third place Christopher Heller into the broadcast booth. Chris, do you read us?
Yep, I gotcha.
Chris, a fantastic run tonight. That's got to be the best racing we've seen in the All-American ARCA Series so far this season.
I would have to agree with that, at least the ones that I've been a part of. I missed week 1, so I'm not sure how that one went.
It was a bloodbath, Christopher.
All right, so then this one was definitely up there.
Now, Christopher, I mean, everybody was kind of worried going tonight. They said the track was very, very slippery. These ARCA cars are so loose all the time. How did you feel going in tonight with the setup and the track conditions?
So I mean, I absolutely hate this racetrack. I'm not gonna lie. But with this car and this track combination, I actually enjoyed it tonight.
I mean, you did a
Because I like a car that likes to be on edge a little bit more. So I actually really enjoyed it, except for like the last like 20 laps of a run. That's when it just went away for me.
Yeah, once these cards get tight, not as much fun to kind of plow around in. I know you got past teammate Brandon Barkuski with 2511 Racing, but for the most part, you did a fantastic job putting the team up there on the podium. You guys have got to be super happy about that after tonight.
Yeah, we're actually a little bit more disappointed because we felt like we had control of the race and at the beginning stages, and we just kind of got messed up, I guess, with some yellows, and we were hoping to bring home a 1-2, but I'm just glad that one of us is able to finish in the top three tonight after having to save all that fuel that we did on that last run.
Yeah, that looked like we could hear it from the broadcast booth. Everybody lifting much heavier. But Christopher, before we let you go, anybody you'd like to thank watching along at home or all across the globe that might be supporting you?
Yes, of course I want to thank my teammate Brandon Barkowski. Uh, he's definitely one hell of a teammate to have here. Um, I'd like to thank my parents for watching and you guys for putting on the broadcast.
Well, always a pleasure, Christopher. Great having you up here on the podium, and we hope to see you again. Not next week, we're off, but the week after that.
Yes, sir.
All right. Up next, we've got second place. That's going to be DJ Weeks bringing it home in the number 97 machine, sitting on the podium. Dennis, you're up 22 spots tonight.
Yeah, I knew I had a good car. I just completely destroyed qualifying. I think I looped it off four on my second lap. So it was like, I'll just take my time getting to the field. And it went green, which saved me, man. It really saved me.
Well, I mean, DJ, that's one of the best runs we've seen so far in the All-American Series. Did you do a lot of work leading up to tonight trying to make something happen, or was it, we'll show up and see what happens?
We all practice a little bit, right? So, but I like Vegas and I like mile and a half. So I knew going in I would be comfortable. And, it shows on the board, obviously. I hate that I had to save a little bit at the end there. I think I could have kept up with Jeckert there, but hey, I'll take second.
Now, we've got off next week for Independence Day. How are you feeling going into Rockingham the week after that for the North Carolina 200?
Personally, Rockingham is my favorite track. I know a lot of people say that, but it truly is because I think I'm pretty good at saving tires over the long run, and you have to there. If you push the first 5 laps, you're in trouble. You're gonna fade really fast.
So we'll plan on seeing you get on the podium that week, right, DJ?
We'll see. Obviously you gotta sometimes dodge wrecks and dodge accidents, and the luck went my way tonight. It doesn't always go that way.
Well, good to see it. Hope we see some more green flag runs from all of our competitors. It's hands down the best race you guys have put on, the best show so far. Before we let you go, DJ, anybody you'd like to thank out there?
Always my team Outlaw Racing. Johnny's kicking our butts. I got to figure out how to catch him that last 10th. And D West was having a good race. Had a little bit of issue with the pit road. Did get a good finish, but Casey and Kyle and we throw this lead together. And you for broadcasting, man. I'm ready for next week
Well,
or 2 weeks, whatever week it is.
Always a pleasure, DJ. We hope to see you up here again, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. He hits it again up on the top spot. Johnny Eckert in the number 90 machine from Outlaw Racing. Johnny, how are you feeling after that run tonight?
Exhausted, truly exhausted, man. The first half of the race, the first run was not anything I envisioned. I thought I was taking care of my tires, but I knew that I had driven it pretty hard out of the blocks just because I wanted to get in front of a couple cars that I thought that I was faster than. And so by the time that first caution came, like 10 laps in, I was happy where I was at. So I thought I was saving from there on after that first caution, and apparently I wasn't. The right front was completely burned off. So I took what I learned from that, and with that late caution, and managed my fuel because I knew it was going to be close, and thankfully had enough at the end to push to the lead, but also to hold on and stay there without
Now,
having to save
now
like
Johnny,
major saves at the end.
from the broadcast booth, we noticed a very distinct lack of burnout. Can you tell us what happened there?
Yeah, I crossed the line with half a lap of fuel left, so I got I turned the car off when I crossed the line and tried to coast all the way around and see how much I would get, and I hit the gas, and I had like a split second of power, and then it died. So that was all the gas that was left in the car.
Well, Johnny, I mean, a fantastic run. You've made it 3 out of 4 wins so far in the All-American ARCA Series. We have next week off, and then we're going to come back for Rockingham. I mean, you've got a very commanding points lead. You've helped boost Outlaw Racing into the team championship pretty far up front. How are you guys feeling going into Rockingham? Is that a track you enjoy, or just one you're going to have to grit up and knock out?
I know DJ loves Rockingham, and he runs well there. So I've had good runs there in the past in all sorts of cars. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna run in the ARCA car there, but I think I think we'll have something for him again. It's gonna be more about tire conservation than anything else, I think. So you know, it won't necessarily be all about pace. You know, the qualifying's important. Trying to get a good pit stall towards the end of pit road is extremely helpful, especially at a track like this or a track like Rockingham, because of the tire wear and stuff. You want to, you don't want to have to waste too much time getting out of your stall. And if the pit exit cone's right there, you're in good shape. You're in a lot better shape. But I think over the long run, hopefully be in contention again. I don't know. I don't know if my pace will be there, but we'll see in 2 weeks.
Well, Johnny, spoken like a true professional, getting better and better at this podium interviews. We hope to see you doing well at Rockingham. We hope you enjoy your week off. But before we let you go, any friends, family, sponsors you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, so I guess this is the last race in June. So yeah, the end of Alzheimer's Awareness Month. But I want to thank my teammates, GJ Weeks and David Westergreen. David had a tough end to his race effectively. We'll discuss that with admins after, but I want to thank him and Robert Hill, who's been supporting us through this. Even though he's not here, through the mental games and stuff before the races. So I appreciate him. Thanks to the admin team, you, for doing a fantastic job with the broadcasts every week. It's always awesome to go back and watch. Thank the admin team for all they do, and yeah, I can't believe it. This has been a heck of a successful month for the team, and yeah, I'm lucky DJ was for my own personal reasons. I guess I'm lucky DJ was just a little bit worse on fuel than I was, because he was catching me big time towards the end until he had to back off to save. So it might be me talking for second place, finishing second, if his fuel numbers went just a little bit better otherwise.
Well, a lot of good racing,
yeah.
a lot of good camaraderie here at the All-American ARCA Series. Enjoy your week off, my friend, and we'll see you at Rockingham.
Yeah, thanks so much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our top 3. Johnny Eckert makes it 3 for 4 at the All-American ARCA Series. Dennis Weeks Jr., a career best in second. Christopher Heller, not the night he wanted in third, but still a fantastic run. We'll cycle through the rest of the grid here just real quickly so everybody can see where your favorite driver finished at. So a lot of great racing here tonight at the All-American ARCA Series at the Las Vegas 200. A almost full grid. I think it's about 34, 35 drivers. So a very massive field. The fewest yellow flags we've had so far here at the All-American ARCA Series. A big hands up to all of our drivers tonight. They did a fantastic job. As always, guys, on behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, pushing out 1080p, 60 frames a second. I'm James East, always having a great time up here in the booth. We will be off next week for Independence Day, but we will be back July 9th for the North Carolina 200 at Rockingham Speedway. We hope to see you there. As always, thank you for supporting your favorite racers, your favorite broadcaster, and your favorite All-American ARCA Series. We'll see you in 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen.